This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Rachel Fife.
Well, welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. Now, if you are looking to throw a smoking hot party, well, that resource is closer than you think. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Curt Wasserman, with Smokey's Fire Truck Events. Curt, how's it going?
It's going good. Good morning, everybody.
Well, listen, we are excited to learn about your business, so tell us all about Smokey's.
Sure. So I am a retired LA City firefighter paramedic for 39 years. I retired 2 years ago. Everybody that works for me are real firefighters, and we buy fire engines when they're about 15 to 18 years old. And then we modify the tops where the hose goes, and we put seating there so about 18 to 20 people can ride. And we're the only business where you can actually ride a fire engine. Now, technically, you're not supposed to ride red lights and siren. We may take a little bit advantage of that from here to there, but it's a really fun time. We're the only ones that do it. We've been in business for 32 years. We've had 56 kids that we've done birthdays for that have sent me back pictures that are now real firefighters. One thing I always tell parents are, as much fun as the kids have, the parents have more fun than the kids do.
Oh, I love that. Now, how did you get into doing this? I mean, I'm thinking because you were an ex-firefighter, but how did you get this business going?
I had 5 kids, and I started thinking, oh my gosh, I got to start worrying about college. And I had a chance to buy a used fire engine, and we used to do fire service day at my fire station. And of course, we can't give rides on on our fire engines for the city because of liability. So we brought the fire engine, gave free fire engine rides, and it was a big hit. And I started thinking, God, maybe we could do birthdays and events out of this. And on a whim, I just kind of tried it, and we started growing and growing and growing.
I love that. I love that. Now, are there any myths or misconceptions in your industry that you're doing?
No, I mean, it's, the thing is, fire engines are expensive. They're really expensive to fix. Matter of fact, I learned more about fire engines when I was a firefighter. I learned more after buying fire engines because when you're paying the bill to get them fixed, your learning curve changes a lot. I just thought it'd be a fun thing. No one else does it. We're kind of unique. It's a hard business to do because the fire engines are expensive to fix and they are expensive. But, I've learned a lot about them and it's a lot of fun. And like I said, we just keep on doing them. And it's, brings kind of good karma. Everybody has a fun time. And we normally have, great reviews from everybody. And that's kind of how it all went. And at first we were thinking, God, it sounds so simple. You show up with a fire engine and give rides, but everybody gets a big kick out of it because you're sitting up high on the top of the hose bed where our seating is. It's almost like being on a double-decker bus. We do a wide variety of ages, but our biggest age is 3 to 4 years old. About 70% of our birthdays are 3 and 4 year olds. And then we generally tell parents if they're 2 years old to wait to 3, that 2 to 3 makes a big difference. Now, there are a couple negatives about using us for a business. And that is you're going to have some moms, especially Orange County moms that are pretty competitive on birthdays. They're going to come back and go, well, little Johnny can't stop talking about your birthday. Now, how am I going to beat that? You will become the hit and you will set the standard for the hottest birthday around.
I love that. Well, we know marketing is like the heart of every business. So how are you finding your customers out there?
Believe it or not, we throw a banner on our fire engine and it's all word of mouth. We have never, ever advertised. Every once in a while, we'll put a parent's, little, leaflet that goes around the neighborhood and they'll find out. It's all word of mouth. I would say that I think we're at about 84% of the people that we do birthdays for, we end up doing a second birthday. And I have one little boy that we're doing, actually he's not a little boy anymore. We're going back for his 7th birthday and his parents are like, oh my gosh, can you pick something other than Smokey's fire engines? But that's what he wants.
That's wonderful. Now, have you ever thought of doing your own podcast or anything like that?
We've had different ideas of we're so busy doing the birthdays, and I still have 5 kids, and I got a youngest one. My oldest son's an LA City firefighter. My youngest one's in college thinking about being a firefighter. So I stay pretty busy. This is kind of a first for me, and I'm hopefully this will get us some extra business because we can always use a little more. But we do stay pretty busy, and we are unique. So I only have firefighters that work for me. So I have a lot of retired guys. They still want to ride the fire engine. So they get a big kick out of it.
That's wonderful. Well, now outside of work, what do you like to do for fun, Curt?
I've got my commercial pilot's license, so I like to fly. And then I also like boating. And of course, I've gotten back into that now that my kids are finally grown up. And I have two left in college, and they've only got one's got a year left and one's got half a year. So I'm almost done with that. And between the business and trying to stay current on my flying, that's kind of the biggest stuff that goes on. I do have one for you that I think people will find kind of interesting. Do you know why Dalmatians are fire dogs?
No,
Are you curious?
absolutely.
So back in the days when they used to push the pumpers by horses, people would run in front of the horses, would scare them, and they crashed a lot. The Dalmatians could run fast enough in front of the horses. They would bark and chase people off the street. They could run in between the horses and not get trampled. And they used to like to sleep with the horses and kept them calm. And that's why Dalmatians are fire dogs. Our name that we came up with, Smokies, is because when I was stationed at Fire Station 69 Pacific Palisades, the public gave us a Dalmatian named Smokey. And I thought Smokey was such a cool name and such a cool dog that's why we're Smokey's Fire Engines.
I love that. Well, tell us, Curt, please tell our listeners one thing they should remember about Smokey's fire truck events.
One thing to remember about it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to have memories for a lifetime of pictures. I mean, it's just a lot of fun. We always tell parents, we have a lot of parents that do this. We always tell them we do birthdays, hey, bring your Christmas outfits and change into them, because we have a lot of people that will use us for a birthday, and it makes such a great backdrop for doing Christmas cards. The other thing that we do that's really big down on Ladera Ranch, which goes nuts for Christmas, we do all through December. We parade the neighborhood and we do Christmas lights at night.
Oh, I love that.
Now we also do, believe it or not, we get a lot of Indian weddings because they like to come in on elephants, but a lot of the hotels won't allow them. So Indian men like come in with their wedding party on our fire engines. We do bachelorette parties. We've taken people to concerts. They use it like a limo for something different. So we get a lot of unique stuff. Plus we do a lot of movies and music videos and things like that.
Wonderful.
Also.
Well, how can our listeners learn more about Smokey's fire truck events?
So basically, you can just give me a call and we can talk about it. Because price depends on where your city is. We basically serve from LA County to Orange County. We do go down to about San Clemente. Sometimes I'll go a little further, but that's kind of the area that we do. We do recommend that you try to book us about 12 weeks in advance. We turn down more people than we can book at the moment. And that's probably the biggest things other than I can tell you. I've never had anybody say, "Oh my God, this wasn't fun." It always beats their expectations, and it sounds so simple, but it's a lot of fun.
I love that. Well, Curt, I really appreciate you being on the show, and we wish you and Smokey's Fire Trucks event all the best moving forward.
I appreciate that. I'll give you my last thing. Do you know what firefighters and police officers have in common?
No.
They all want to be firefighters.
Okay.
Well, you guys have a... Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnporangecounty.com. That's gnporangecounty.com. Or call 714-941-8862.
Are we all done?
Yeah. Hold on.